In the news this week, the CI threatens the Northern Ireland Executive with legal action over a possible prayer ban. Public bodies abandon Stonewall's diversity scheme amid concerns over its extreme pro-trans stance. And a group of prominent law professors in America speak out against religious oppression in Finland. Hello. The Christian Institute has said it will not hesitate to take legal action if the Northern Ireland Executive introduces a ban on so-called conversion therapy which outlaws the wrong kind of prayer. LGBT activists are pushing for a broad ban to criminalise prayer, preaching, pastoral support and even parenting which does not affirm same-sex relationships or a person's chosen gender identity. But in a legal opinion for the Institute, leading human rights QC Jason Koppel said such wide definitions would criminalise legitimate expressions of religious belief. In a letter to the Executive's Communities Minister, lawyers warned that should any proposals infringe upon everyday church activities, the Institute would, where appropriate, seek a judicial review.
The Christian Institute has been very clear that we are not opposed to a ban per se. If there are harmful pseudo-medical practices still going on in Northern Ireland today, then by all means ban them, because everybody deserves to be protected from that. But the activists are moving the goalposts now, and they're being increasingly upfront that what they really want the ban to cover is certain kinds of prayer, certain kinds of preaching, and they even would like the ban to affect parenting. Now, that would be a breach of the rights of Christians. And so we've made clear to the executive through our lawyers that if they cave in to those demands, and if they insist on trying to introduce an excessively broad ban of this kind, we would be prepared to litigate.
The Institute has already threatened the UK government with legal action if a similar ban proposed for England and Wales outlaws the ordinary work of churches. More high-profile public bodies have left Stonewall's Diversity Champions programme, it has been revealed. Following the Equality and Human Rights Commission quitting the scheme in March, the House of Commons, the DVLA, Employment Dispute Service ACAS and others have also ended their memberships. Minister for Women and Equalities Liz Truss has now called on all government departments to withdraw from the programme. Concerns centre on Stonewall's aggressive promotion of transgender ideology. Its chief executive, Nancy Kelly, recently likened defending biological sex to anti-Semitism, while head of media Jeffrey Ingold labelled the UK a fascist transphobic island. But Stonewall co-founder turned critic Simon Fanshawe slammed the group for insisting without discussion that those born male can become women simply by saying so and therefore enter exclusively female spaces and use women-only services. Baroness Thompson has warned that the latest attempt to legalise assisted suicide in England and Wales poses a serious threat to disabled people. The peer said that whilst Baroness Meach's new private members' bill does not explicitly target disabled people, it was not difficult for many of those living with a disability to see the writing on the wall. Lady Grey Thompson recalled a report by assisted suicide activists which expressed the view that lethal drugs should not be offered to disabled people at this point in time. She explained, "I found those 5 words chilling. They told me that I would not be a candidate for legalised assisted suicide at first, but should consider myself in the waiting room. Such mission creep is inevitable when a law resting on a natural frontier and applying equally to everyone is then replaced by one with an arbitrary boundary like terminal illness. Such laws contain within themselves the seeds of their own expansion. To ignore this is to court danger." And finally, law professors from several elite US universities have criticised the prosecution of a Finnish Christian politician accused of hate crimes. Finland's former Minister of the Interior, Parvi Räsänen, could face up to 6 years in prison for publicly supporting the Bible's teaching on marriage and sexuality, including sharing a Bible verse. An open letter signed by prominent professors called the Finnish Prosecution General's actions straightforward acts of oppression, stressing that the charges will compel Finland's clergy and lay religious believers to choose between prison and abandoning teachings of their various faiths. No reasonable balance of the goods of public order, civil equality, and religious liberty can ever support this suppression of the right to believe and express one's beliefs. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.